Hello and welcome to Following On. It's myself, Jon Norman. It's Steve Harmison. We're out on the pitch here at the Hagley Oval, less than 24 hours away from the start of the first Test match, which we're going to be bringing you exclusively live on talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. New Zealand against England. And it's, the anticipation is very much in the air. We are promised 28 degrees tomorrow. So hopefully the aircon in our little porter cabin. We've got a beautiful pitch view of the pitch here at Harmony. We've been treated very well by New Zealand cricket, and we're ready, aren't we? We've talked a lot. Now it's time for these guys to do their biz.
Yeah, we're about acclimatised. Sleep patterns is just getting in the right order. I think that wine tasting yesterday just broke it up a little bit with a bit of a thick head this morning, but I think we are ready.
There's a reason for that, because the wine tasting, which you will be able to check out on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel, was then followed by some beer tasting and some chicken eating. And then I tried to go to sleep like 20 minutes after that, and it just wasn't happening.
No, we've enjoyed our short trip to New Zealand so far. We were about acclimatised. I think the teams are, their trip to Queenstown, they're definitely acclimatised. Listening to the Kiwis. I don't know about you, John, but the more and more I've listened to, like some Matt Henry talking first up, listening to Glenn Phillips talking, Tom Latham spoke today. There seems to be more of a confidence than you'd usually get from.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean? Normally you get the rhetoric and very sort of humble, very not happy to be here, but keen to be involved in a challenge.
Yep.
I think they're talking themselves up, punching, laying punches and sort of, fighting England with fire. I'm really looking forward to it, because if they are going to back their words up like they did in India, they were in for an excellent series. Because looking at the England boys, speaking to some of them, seeing how they are, being in the nets yesterday, they're ready. They're ready, and I think this is going to be a great series.
I agree. What about the pitch? It's under covers. But you've just been out here for the last 10 minutes or so, taking a look. We were here a couple of days ago as well. It still looks healthy covering of grass. Yeah. Not quite as green as some of the tracks that they've produced here in the past, but you're still confident it's going to be a win the toss and bowl first kind of day, even if it is 28 degrees.
I think even if it's more so, if it's 28 degrees, I think there might be, with a bit, if it's warm, then you might feel as though it's going to move through the air as well as off the surface early on. 16 mil of grass on it at this moment in time. Joe Root told us this morning, so there is a good coverage of grass. If they're going to take any off, I'd be surprised if they do take any off. It does look green, but they always look green, but they're very, very good. Talking to the groundsman and Jeetan Patel a little bit earlier, Jeetan, who's a local here, England spin bowling coach, he said it's going to be a belter. He reckons it's going to be a good wicket, bit of pace, a bit of carry. He did say to the groundsman, they've been slow here this year. And groundsman looked at him with such a forlorn frown look on his face to say, take no notice of that. Really, take no notice of that. This will have a little bit of carry in it, and it will be a good pitch. But I am sticking by my assessment because of the surface. I think Manners was saying yesterday, 8 out of the last 12 games has been won by the team batting second, which tells me possibly if Ben Stokes wins a toss and the way he likes to go about his cricket, I think England will have a bowl first. OK,
well, you mentioned Ben Stokes. He's just over there booting a rugby ball around. The England team look in good spirits. Why wouldn't they? What an occasion. We've got our Sports Nation comrades over there. There's Brad Lewis, fine producer. Daniel McCarty is going to be part of our commentary team, of course. He's running his eye over proceedings. But, let's hear from Ben Stokes, because our very own producer, Scott Taylor, caught up with the England skipper a few moments ago.
Ben, love to see you on the eve of a Test series against New Zealand. How special is it that it's a 3-match Test series and it's at a place you know so well, the first one?
Yeah, great that it's, last time we were here it was 2 games, results in both of them. So, yeah, I think, coming here knowing it's 3, and if a result happens to find its way in all the games, then we know we're going to have a winner at the end of it. It was a shame that last time out we won the first one, New Zealand won the second, and then we were just sort of drawn. It's nice that we've got the extra game this year.
And excited by the squad you've got. Let's talk about Jacob Bethel. There's been a lot of talk in the media about him, but on the flip side, it's a chance for him to go out and impress.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's done an amazing job, this summer and the opportunities that he's got in the white ball team. He's showcased his skills on numerous occasions. He's a super talented kid. Really looking forward to seeing him go out there this week, make his debut and hopefully influence the game.
And when was it that you first saw Jacob and thought, hang on, he's the guy that I want?
We've seen real little snippets of him, playing for Warwickshire and Birmingham over the years, and then when he got given the chance to go out and play for England this year, you're seeing the talent that the guy has. Even in training, I remember going in and watching a training session at the one-day game this year at Durham, and was very impressed by the ability that he had. He's shown on one of the biggest stages against some of the toughest opponents in the world in Australia that he's more than capable of being able to deliver top match-defining innings at international cricket so far at such a young age. I think we forget that he's 21.
Yeah.
He's still got a long way to go in his career, but he's super talented and can't wait to see him in action.
And the last time you were here, your bowling attack was Anderson, Broad, Robinson. You've got a completely new bowling attack, so how much are you looking forward to leading the next generation of England bowlers?
Yeah, look, it's great. We've had some guys come in and get some opportunities over the last 2 years, and in particular probably over the last 3 or 4 months. Coming here to New Zealand is going to be completely different conditions and everything compared to Pakistan. But look, I think the way that the team has operated in Pakistan and throughout the summer was exceptional. So looking forward to seeing them go about their business out here in New Zealand and exposing themselves to pretty new conditions, particularly for Gus and Bryden.
I know you're England captain, but first and foremost you're a fan of the Test game. So what was your reaction when New Zealand got a clean sweep in India?
Oh, look, that is a phenomenal achievement from New Zealand. To go to India and win one game's hard enough, but to win 3 in a row, you've got to hold your hands up and say that's something very special and something we might not see for a very long time. And look, we've got nothing but respect for New Zealand and the way that they play the game, the way that they take it on. And every single time we meet New Zealand, whether it be Test matches or with the white ball, it seems to be a pretty good game.
And for yourself, you're at the start of what seems to be an exciting 12, 14 months for this England side. I know it's important not to look too far ahead, but it's the prospect of what you've got coming up. It's why you play the longest format, isn't it?
Yeah, look, Test cricket is the pinnacle of the game. It's the purest form. It's just amazing to be a part of Test cricket. I'm lucky enough to have played over 100 games now, and look, every time I put that cap on, every time I put my shirt on, I feel extremely privileged to walk out there and represent England.
Just finally, a word on Joe ahead of his 150th Test. Not only what he's done as a player, but you know him so well as a person as well. What's he been like for you?
Yeah, amazing. Look, 150 Test matches. Just that stat itself is incredible. The longevity. He's only my age, 34, and I think I've played over 100 games, and I think he's only not been a part of 2. So we've played a lot of cricket together. His runs, his records, the amount of times that he's done well, that England have been on the winning side of games, speaks for itself. He's an amazing player, but also he's an amazing bloke, and I feel very lucky to have shared a dressing room for as long as I have done with him. Sorry,
just one more. This series is named after Martin Crowe and Graham Thorpe. Just how special is that you're playing for that?
Yeah, it's amazing that we're playing for a trophy named after 2 very important cricketers for New Zealand and England, but also I think for the game of Test cricket as well. Honouring 2 greats of the game is really nice to be able to say that we're playing in a series, and it's in memory of 2 greats of the game. So really special moment to be able to play in a series like this.
So, Ben Stokes speaking with Scott Taylor, talkSPORT producer and cricket reporter. I mean, there was plenty there. He seems happy to be home away from home. It was a tough tour in Pakistan. Obviously, there were some events going on back at base, which were, must have been very difficult for him to deal with. England then, of course, lost that series as well. So there's some pressure on, but he's in familiar climes here. This is where he was born, Christchurch. He moved to Wellington. I think his father was playing rugby out there, wasn't it, before he came to England? But he just wants to get going, doesn't he?
Like everybody, he wants to get going. Rehan, he wants to get going as well, but Not unfortunately. I think it's got I think that's too much green grass on there for you. But no, Ben. I mean, you talk about pressure with Ben. I don't think he does pressure. I really don't. I think he sees the moment. I think he understands and identifies the situation he's in, and plays the moment accordingly. And I think, listen to that interview there. There's a driven, there's a ruthless side of the England captain who has respect for what New Zealand did in India, but will also be mindful as once this game starts in less than 24 hours time, we're starting fresh, we're starting again. And my team, I back my team, and I think he's got a good one. And so I think, this England team and this England group always look forward, never look back. That's why they didn't go to Jennings in the summer and went with Lawrence. That's why they didn't go with Sam Curran when they were looking for that second all-rounder. That's why they've gone to Jacob Bethel. There's a looking forward, a driving forward. Pakistan's gone, India's gone for New Zealand, and it's about now. And listening to Ben, I mean, he sounds as though he's ready for what is going to be a great 3 weeks for him, for Brendan, because of the home soil and the allegiance he has and the love he has for this country. Mum and brother's still here. Dad laid to rest here. I mean, this is a wonderful country, even though it does take forever to get here. But Ben Stokes, I think he's ready to lead his team in Scott's first question, in a 3-match series. I think we were all waiting with bated breath after Manners delivered the winning wicket in Wellington and going, is that it? I mean, we're going home now, really, off the back of that. The third test match, well, even though it's the first one, but the third match in that series would have been probably here. And now he's got a chance to play back where he grew up with some familiarity and some family and friends.
It's an incredible statistic that a guy that's played 107 test matches has played 105 of them with one person. Joe Root is going to play test number 150. You caught up with Joe. Now, check out the interview. It will be played out in the lunch break on day one as part of our coverage, but it will be released as a podcast on YouTube and also via the podcast feed, following on podcast. Just give the audience a little flavour of what you spoke about. It was quite a wide-ranging interview that took place at the England team hotel earlier today.
Yeah, it was about at the start what it was like. He talked about the 12-year-old kid that followed cricket. He's got family who's massively into cricket from Sheffield. His brother plays for Glamorgan. His mum and dad are huge fans of cricket. Dad Matt follows the Barmy Army everywhere. We talked about what it was like to get your first call up. You're on the journey and off and running. And he said what it was to walk out in India with Kevin Peterson at the other end. The experience of the group that they had. And then we talked a lot about his growth, going through to 150, playing with Ben, winning the World Cup. Talked about the moments of winning the World Cup. Not really wanting to talk about individual milestones. Talked about what it's like to play in a team, and I asked him why, what it was like, what it's like to be, what sacrifices you have to have and what you have to do to be driven to be the very, very best. Some of his answers were brilliant. They were self-deprecating. That's Joe. He doesn't talk about things and shout from the rooftop, but his answer at the end was probably the best one. Going to Australia to win the Ashes would mean everything.
Don't tell it. Don't give all the good stuff away. Tom Latham, the New Zealand skipper. I mean, I can't think of too many cricket captains whose record reads Captain 3, won 3. I know he did captain beforehand, but on a temporary basis. He's coming into this series full of confidence. The big news from the New Zealand camp is that obviously Kane Williamson plays. Will Young will not play. So they are replacing their player of the series with the player of their history. And also Nathan Smith, who played for Worcestershire in 2024, he's recently signed for Surrey. Good lads. He's in the side ahead of Jacob Duffy, so he's going to make his debut, a bowling all-rounder. So Scott Taylor, talkSPORT producer, caught up with the New Zealand skipper, Tom Latham. Let's hear what he had to say.
So Tom, thanks for joining us. A day out from the Test series against England, captaining your first home series as full-time captain and at a ground you know so well. How excited are you for this?
Yeah, really excited. I think on the eve of any Test series is obviously always special, but I think that the hype that the series has got, I'm sure, in England, but certainly here in New Zealand is really special. So certainly looking forward to getting stuck in over the next couple of days, which to hear that crowds are sold out, Barmy Army's here, it can't get any better. So looking forward to what the next 5 days is going to produce.
Have you noticed a change in interest in cricket over the last couple of weeks in New Zealand with what you did in India, the White Ferns winning the World Cup? Have you seen it booming, really? Yeah,
absolutely. It's been sort of fantastic to walk around and people congratulate you. Is really special, and I think that's just sort of shown the hype that cricket has here in New Zealand at the moment, and obviously on the back of what we were able to achieve in India, but also the White Ferns in their World Cup. So I guess it's one of those times where when it is like that, it's just trying to keep things moving in the same direction, and we've certainly seen that with crowds being sold out and whatnot. So it's going to be a great sort of couple of weeks coming up, and I know both teams will be looking forward to it.
Coming off the back of that win in India and what you achieved, how'd you back it up?
Trying to do the same thing, I guess. I think just trying to play our brand of cricket as best we can. We certainly know that conditions are completely different, obviously a new opposition as well, a team that comes out and plays a pretty fearless brand of cricket. So we're certainly going to be challenged at times throughout this series, and I guess that's something we've got to look forward to in terms of trying to put our best foot forward and play our brand of cricket as best we can. These are conditions that we're familiar with. We've played well here at Hagley and obviously the other two grounds as well. I think just trying to adapt as best we can, and hopefully more of the same would be great.
And you go into every series confident of beating the opposition, but how much did that India win do for actual belief that you can fall back on that moment that we've actually beaten the top teams, and when it gets tough throughout this series you can fall back on that experience?
Yeah, I think any time you win a series or you win games of cricket, it builds confidence. I think in certainly international cricket nowadays, it's so hard to win away from home. Every place you go to is a challenge, and certainly India is certainly no different there. And I think, as you said, that the confidence that you can go over and you can compete against the best sides by playing your brand of cricket is probably the most pleasing thing, that we've got a method that can work. And as I said, these conditions are completely different. We're going to have to change certainly the way we go about things, but trying to adapt as best we can is sort of something that we try to pride ourselves on, and there'll be no different tomorrow.
And Kane comes in for Will Young for this test, but how good is it that you can have that strength in depth? A guy that was player of the series last time out misses out, and you've got this strength in depth, as I say. Yeah,
I think when you're in the position to have those tough conversations around, or make those tough calls, that's obviously means your team's in a good spot. And as I said, Youngie's certainly done nothing wrong in terms of he was player of the series and played fantastically well over in India, and he's a great team man. Certainly gets in behind the guys, and we'll certainly know that he'll be doing that over the next couple of days. But having someone of Kane's calibre come back in the 11 is certainly great for everyone involved, and we're looking forward to having him back.
And what's the key when playing against a team like England? You know how they're going to play when they might be able to get on top. Is it just a case of staying calm and trusting the process?
Absolutely, yeah. I think just trying to play our brand of cricket as best we can. And when we've been successful, it's trying to play our way, trying to play our style as best we can. And we know England, we know the approach that they're going to come in with, and we've seen that over the last 2 or 3 years in terms of how they like to play their cricket. So for us, it's trying to be where our feet are as best we can, and play our style, and guys do their roles as best we can. And the guys were prepared well over the last couple of days, and we're looking forward to the challenge ahead.
And just finally, not many people in the UK would have heard of Nathan Smith. He had a stint with Worcestershire, but tell us a little bit about him and what he can bring to the Black Caps.
Yeah, a guy that's a bowling all-rounder that's had some great success here in New Zealand over the last couple of seasons. Being one of the domestic player of the years. Someone that's hits the wicket pretty hard, can move the ball both ways in the air. And obviously as a challenge on the surface that we play on here. As you said, he had a little bit of a stint for Worcester, and I think he was reasonably successful over there. So we're really excited to have another black cap, have another debutant, and we're looking forward to sharing the week with him, and hopefully we can have a little bit of success too.
And what's the biggest difference for you as a captain? Because you deputised before, but did you feel when you were doing that it was someone else's team, but now you can really feel like you can put your own stamp on this team you have here?
Yeah, I think for me it's always been, regardless whether I'm captain or whether I'm not captain, is trying to push this team forward as best as you can. We're always looking to improve, looking at ways to improve and get better. And yeah, for me that's certainly no different now being captain. But yeah, I guess trying to put my own spin on things is sort of what I'm trying to do. It might not look any different, but I think this side does a lot of great things. We've had some great leaders in the past that I've certainly played under Brendan, Kane and Tim. So for me it's just about trying to continue what this team does really well, and if I'm able to leave the team in a better spot than when I first came in, then well hopefully that's the goal. But certainly enjoying the challenge, and we'll bring its challenges at times, but one that certainly looking forward to.
And just finally, you mentioned Tim there, just a couple of words on what he's done for New Zealand cricket ahead of his final home series.
Yeah, look, he's a legend of New Zealand cricket. I think the legacy that he's been able to build over 17 years, I think it is, as a fast bowler to play for that amount of time is something pretty remarkable in itself. But a great man, a great team man, and we're certainly looking forward to celebrating the next couple of weeks with him, and hopefully we can send him out on a high. But we're certainly going to miss him. He's certainly been one of New Zealand's greats for a long period of time, and we'll certainly miss having him in the team and bowling those outswingers from one end.
Perfect. Good luck this week.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Tom Latham speaking with Scott Taylor. So I've been a bit distracted because Ben Stokes and Gus Atkinson are booting a rugby ball around not that far from here. So I'm fully expecting it to whistle across the screen anytime soon. The sun's coming out here. It's beautiful. We've had a lovely few days here at Christchurch. But yeah, I mean, this New Zealand side are going to come in, and this is the thing that we sometimes forget, isn't it? The crowds are going to be here. A bit like when England tour West Indies and there's suddenly crowds where there aren't always crowds. When Bangladesh are here, when Pakistan are here, when any other nation apart from England and Australia, really, you do not get the crowds in for Test cricket in the manner that we just kind of grow, a little bit accustomed to in England. But that in itself, it seems to me, doesn't increase the pressure. It actually increases the enjoyment because these players go out and can perform and show off in front of a full house, and that's what it's all about. You're a former pro. You walk out and you think, oh, these people have paid money to come and see me, chest out.
That's everything. I mean, that adds to the atmosphere, adds to the occasion. I'm sure you've got Ben just over the back here and one or two others that have been around a while. Jimmy Anderson's over there. Paul Collingwood, Marcus Trescothick, who are part of the backroom team. When you go into a venue like this, I mean, it's special. The infrastructure in New Zealand, we know the roads, the train travel and everything like that. It's nowhere near what it's like in England, and the stadiums are not grandeur like you'd have in England and Australia. Because you're right, there's not many people come, but it makes it even more special when people do come for the visual experience and what it's like, the grass banks, the atmosphere, the hum, the buzz. Walking down a fine leg, from somebody who was an exceptional fine leg. I mean, I was an unbelievable fine leg and copped the most dog's abuse like you'd not believe from punters after tea, most afternoons. It was brilliant. It was fantastic. And walking down to fine leg knowing that you bowled a good over, and the bloke that's just absolutely hammered you for going at 6 and over for the last sort of 10, you can go back and it's a little victory where you look for him and you think, oh, he's gone to the bar or something, he's gone to the toilet, you're just about to give him the bird and stuff like that. So no, the atmosphere is what makes little grounds like this, festival grounds, what you would call in England festival grounds, sold out Saturday. That's what England bring. Wouldn't surprise me if it's sold out Friday, because once this game gets underway and to see the sort of two sides go head to head, if we have a good day on Thursday, I can guarantee Friday and Sunday will be sold out, and that's what the players want.
Well, okay, well look, we're going to be bringing you live and exclusive coverage, you know that, talkSPORT 2, talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. Let me just throw one little thing in there. I know that you are predicting a 500 run day. We know there's a little bit of rivalry between Ben Stokes and the coach, Brendan McCullum. Very friendly rivalry. Stokes went past McCullum's 6 hitting record, didn't he?
Yeah.
Brendan McCullum on this ground broke the world record for the fastest 100, coming in just 54 balls against Australia in 2016 Nathan Smith was a punter. He was here for that test, by the way. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there.
And I'll go that little bit further. I think Penn's got more chance of doing or having a go at that. It's 7. Sounds stupid. And I'm very good at saying stupid things.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I think he's got more chance of doing it at 7 than he has at 6. At 6, he's a proper batter. Plays that way. It's 7. All of a sudden, I know Carse comes in at 10, but all of a sudden, if he gets in with the likes of Atkinson at 9, Wokes, not so much Wokes, but Atkinson at 9, Carse at 10, and Bashir at 11. Stokes has looked for that cricketer. He's now doing it himself. That 100 off 57 balls.
54.
54. I tell you what.
Just saying.
I wouldn't put it past him. And I think
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a big ground. The analyst was out here a second ago, and he's got for what we'd have as a rangefinder from a golf point of view, and he was looking all around the ground, and it's going to be 70. It's going to be 70 meters all the way around the ground from the middle of this surface. From the middle of the surface, the ground diameter is going to be 70 metres all the way around. I think that's on purpose because from a New Zealand point of view, it's normally in England 65. I reckon out here they're going for 70 because of the way England play, and you try and get them caught on the boundary's edge. So that's another thing just to watch out for over the course of the next 5 days.
Okay, watch out, listen out. We will be bringing you live and exclusive coverage here on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel from 9:30 p.m. and on talkSPORT 2 as soon as Aston Villa against Juventus finishes. Myself, Steve Harmison, Neil Manthorp, and the likes of Chris Harris, Jeremy Coney, Daniel McCarty, Garth Galloway, Neil Manthorp, Frankie Mackay, Katie Martin cannot wait to get up and underway. So that's about it. Next time we speak on air, we'll be underway. Thanks for watching here on the Following On podcast.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.